Episode 12. The man-eater glanced over his shoulder and seeing no one in pursuit, he slowed down to a walking pace. At the royal park, when everyone regained consciousness, they were unable to find their king and fearfully spread the word, "The man-eater has seized our king." The word spread fast. There was anger and grief amongst the ministers, courtiers, and subjects alike. They cried and recollected the virtues of the king, wondering, "How will we live without him?" After regaining consciousness, the minister concluded it was the worst national emergency they had faced, in spite of the heaviest security ever. The minister urged the others to moderate their sadness. He said, "Since our king is virtuous and never oppressed anyone, and is of the highest intelligence, he will be sure to be able to persuade the man-eater to release him, to return in safety. By the power of his righteousness, he will be sure to be able to overcome all obstacles. Rest assured, he will return." The words of the minister soothed everyone's distress. They found solace and were given some hope. Even though they were not confident, they waited anyway for King Sutasoma's return. They praised the minister for his timely response, showing no anxiety in public, and showing all the characteristics of a good leader in whom people could place their trust. As the man-eater was carrying King Sutasoma, a drop of the king's perspiration fell onto the man-eater's chest. Knowing all beings are wont to feel death, the man-eater assumed the king was crying out of fear of his own death. He teased the king, saying, "Sutasoma, a wise and educated man like you should have no reason to cry. The truly wise are those who soothe the sadness of others and can be a true refuge to others, just as an island is a refuge to the shipwrecked. What regrets do you have in your mind that leave you so sad? Is it fear for your life? Is it separation from your relatives? Is it worry about your queen and children? Or do you miss your royal treasures? If an educated person like yourself is sorrowful, what hope of happiness would a fool have?" Sutasoma knew the man-eater had misunderstood, but explained, "I have nothing to be sorrowful about. Not myself, my queen, or my children, nor even my royal treasures. However, I have been thinking that since ancient times, a king's word is his promise. I fear that there is something I have not managed to keep my word about." "What promise have you failed to keep, Sutasoma?" "I promised to be at an appointment with a Brahmin this morning to hear the recital of the 100-verse teaching of Kassapa Buddha. Now you have abducted me, I will lose the opportunity to listen to that teaching. But worse than that, I will hereafter be known as one who cannot keep his word. I ponder on my own reputation and the damage done to it." "So what do you expect me to do about it? Let you go?" the man-eater asked. "If you would let me return, I would fulfill my obligation to the Brahmin. After hearing the teaching, I will return to you, and you can do with me as you wish." The man-eater looked Sutasoma in the face but saw no trace of deceit there. Nonetheless, he was not completely convinced and challenged the king. "Sutasoma, no ordinary person who is used to happiness, after escaping death, would endanger their life for a second time just to keep a promise. If I let you go now, you will just return to the luxuries of your palace and double your guards." Seeing that the man-eater did not believe him, Sutasoma asserted, "A virtuous person would rather die than commit an act of bad karma just to survive. It is only the evil who lead reprehensible and dishonorable lives. No lie in this life can protect a person from the unfortunate realms in the next. Mountains being shaken by the wind, sun and moon falling to the earth, and all the rivers flowing upstream. All of these things are more likely to happen and me ever going back on my word. Such an assurance didn't convince the man-eater. King Sutasoma continued, "Man-eater, if you would just consent to put me down, I will make a vow in front of you." After the man-eater had put him down, with the man-eater as his witness, the king pledged the solemn words, "As this sword be my witness, I vow that after my release I will keep my promise to the Brahmin and will return to fulfill my obligations here."